If you're a real estate agent and you want your pipeline to start looking like this, where you have new leads coming in every day and you're able to qualify them and nurture them in the background as you go about doing what you do and taking care of the clients that you already are working with, then this video is for you. I'm going to be taking you through a 3-step process that's going to show you how to generate, qualify, and convert new leads all through the use of digital advertising strategies that I'm going to show you right now. So let's get right into it. So if you take a look at step one, you're going to see I have a couple of ads here. These are going to be social media ads, particularly here we're looking at a Facebook ad. So for Facebook ads, you want to keep them simple. You don't want to do too much. You want to keep them clean and concise. And the purpose of this is to be very specific with who you're targeting. In this case, we're looking at a first-time home buyer, but another thing you might want to do is target towards downsizers, because downsizers are always looking to sell their home as well usually. So in this case, first time home buyer, we want a nice headline. Here it says stop renting, start owning, a nice tag. We want an attention grabbing caption that encourages people to click see more, and then we want a nice call to action. That's what's crucial here. You want to go ahead and launch that ad, and if you look at your metrics, you should be shooting for ideally a cost per result, in this case cost per lead, of under $10. So as you can see, this is at $13. That's okay. You want to be constantly testing new ads. So if you go to right here, what I have is, this is an AI image. So this image is AI generated, and this is what I found has worked the best so far with the real estate markets right now. AI ads are killing it, and you can see here that the cost per lead that I was telling you about before, in this case, is $8.97. So that's going to be well under $10. And you just want to keep testing and testing until you get one that's hitting. And from there, you want to even keep testing more, because the one that's hitting now might not be hitting the next month. So that's why you always want to be split testing your ads and finding the winner ad. In this case, right now, as of July 2025, the AI generated ads are what's killing it in the markets right now. So that's going to take us to step two. Once you found your winning ad, you want to have a way to nurture and qualify the leads that are coming through with the ad. So the way we're going to qualify these leads is, for one, our lead form needs to ask a couple really important questions. Obviously, first, their first full name, their email, their phone number. When is a good time to call you? After 5 p.m., mornings, weekends, etc. How soon are you looking to buy? Ideally, as soon as possible, 1 to 3 months. What is your budget? Okay. Now, the most important thing you want to look at with these two questions is, how soon are you looking to buy? If they say just browsing, okay, it's probably okay to disqualify this lead, put them through a long-term nurture, and not worry too much about this lead. Now, if they say anything else, 6 months plus, 3 to 6 months, anything else, even if they're not sure about their budget, okay, you want to be really going after these leads that are now in your pipeline. So to go after these leads, you don't want to be doing this yourself. You want this to be automated. If you're hitting a cost per lead of under $10 and you're dropping $30 a day on Facebook ads, you're going to be getting 90 leads per month. And with that is going to be way too much, way too many people to be contacting yourself, is basically what I'm getting at here. So for that reason, you want the outreach process to be 100% automated. You don't know, these people could just be coming in just to check out some homes and not really be too serious. You don't need to be wasting your time texting them until you find out they're serious. So with this automated sequence over here, which is very confusing, here's what it's going to look like. So it's going to say, hey, Jordan, this is realtor name. Saw you were checking out homes in Costa Mesa. Are you looking to buy sometime soon or just browsing? These leads are typically not going to respond on the first message just because it sounds kind of automated. If you don't want text from me, just reply out, right? It sounds kind of spammy in a way. That's fine. It has to be done. We have to say, we have to give them an out if they want to end the sequence, whatever. Now, this second text is what always gets them. This is a pro tip with all your automations. You want to be doing a second text, which happens 15 minutes after the first text, and it's going to sound very human-like, and it's going to say, in this case, let me know with a smiley face. This second text really does a good job of improving the reply rate. It really triggers the leads to say, okay, this real estate agent is actually waiting for an answer. This person really wants to know if I'm looking to buy, whatever. Okay, so that triggers a response. I'm looking to rent. I'm looking to go from rent to own. So in this case, the ad worked exactly as it was supposed to, right? Our ad said, stop renting, start owning. This guy is a renter looking to own. And, great. He responds. We start a conversation. Mind you, these messages are all automated. So what I was showing you here is these responses are going to vary based on what the other person says. And so it's all been built out to respond to the lead in a way that makes sense to keep the conversation going, and ideally to set up a phone call with the realtor. So let's backtrack a little bit. As the lead comes in, you want to have somebody calling these leads immediately. The speed to lead time on these leads should be sub 5 minutes, ideally in the first 2 minutes if you can. If this is too much for you, that's when you want to start hiring an ISA or a personal assistant, where as soon as that lead comes in, they're calling these leads up. The goal here is to get the leads on the phone. Now, this text sequence is going to be kind of like a backup option. The goal is to get the lead on the phone. That's the goal. That's what we want to hammer down. Okay, this person says they're free Monday at 12. That's when we're going to call them up. We, as in the real estate agent. So here's just another example. It's the same thing. That let me know gets them. You start the conversation. Tomorrow afternoon, she wants to have a phone call. So, great. Once you've booked these phone calls, you want to take the call with a goal of really establishing a personal connection. The questions you want to ask are going to be very personal, just to get to know this lead and to establish you guys' relationship. Obviously, they need to know that they're working with a real estate agent who they can trust. So you want to be asking them questions like, what do you do for a living? What's your current income? Things that will help you get to know this lead better so that you can help them better as a real estate agent. You know this better than I do. But yeah, so the goal of the phone call is to establish a personal connection and to encourage them to book a meeting with you, the real estate agent. So once you have this phone call and you're able to book the meeting with the lead, that's when we're going to get into step 3 of this process, which is convert these leads. So you want to ideally book the leads into your calendar on that phone call, and from there is when your CRM is going to come in handy. So if you are going to be managing a bunch of leads, you want to have a system that tracks these leads of where they're at in the process. So that's why this CRM that I use is called Go High Level. I highly recommend. It allows you to track a new lead, if they're disqualified, whatever, and if they've booked an appointment, that's even better. But this pipeline can be even more in-depth if you want to include a bunch of other factors. But the point is, you need to be tracking these leads as they come in and as they move along through the pipeline into booking an appointment, etc., buying a house, all that. So from there is when you do your thing as a real estate agent. You close these leads. You do what you do best, and the advertising portion of this is over. So essentially, this is the 3-step process of what your digital advertising strategy should look like. when looking at social media ads with the purpose of generating high quality leads. If this seems like a lot, which I understand it can be, that is what I'm here for. That's what I do. I work with a lot of real estate agents with this exact process. They hire my team to do it for them, all in the background. But if this is something that you think you can do yourself, I highly encourage you to use these tips as you go along in this process. And if you need any help, guidance, I do free consultation meetings where I can help answer any questions. But if you think you're going to need a little more help and kind of have this done for you completely, then that's also what I'm here for. I can take that off your hands and get you these leads all done for you while you go about doing what you do as a real estate agent. So other than that, thank you for tuning into this video, and let me know what else you'd like to see from me. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.